Jupyter Notebook is a popular editor among Python developers and data scientists. It is an open source web application that we can use to write Python code. It comes built in with Python kernel. You can also use Julia and R along with Python. That's why the name is Jupyter. You can write equations using the latex. You can use it for writing plain text along with HTML and CSS. You can use it for visualization and have inline images or graphical representations inside the notebook. It's quite popular, it's quite handy. Let's learn everything about how to install Jupyter and what are the popular shortcuts for this editor. I'm currently using Python version 3.8 and my PIP version is 20.0.2. This keeps updating time to time, and even if you have recently installed Python, you should consider updating PIP. PIP is your Python package manager. It is responsible for fetching packages from the PyPy index, which is Python package index, and downloading it on your local machine. So I'm using PIP to install Jupyter. If you're using MacBook or Linux, you might want to use Python 3 and PIP 3. For Windows 10 users or Windows any other version users, I'll recommend using just Python and PIP. It is now installing Jupyter. It'll take few seconds, maybe even a minute. After waiting for over a minute, Jupyter Notebook is now successfully installed in my computer. To verify, I can say PIP list and it will show me the list of softwares that I've installed along with other stuff. You can see the notebook I have. You can also notice the Jupyter client and the Jupyter console I have. The Jupyter version right now is 1.0. Now to start or launch this editor, you simply have to run the command Jupyter Notebook. If you have installed Jupyter via Anaconda, it will set up its own virtual environment, and you might need to say Python -m and notebook. Yeah, this is specific for the users who have installed Jupyter via Anaconda's distribution. I have simply installed Jupyter because Anaconda gives me a lot of other packages which I don't need. So my requirement is to use Python with Jupyter editor, and I have installed it. To run, I will say Jupyter Notebook. As you can see, Jupyter runs in the web browser that you have selected by default. Mine is Chrome. To make a new Python file, I will simply click on new. I can select Python 3. And there I have a new Python file. If I want to run any code, I can simply say something as basic as hello world. To run, I have this run button. The shortcut is Shift Enter. So I run this, I can see the output. I can also write plain text here. So if I want to write plain text hello and I give it a run, it gives me an error saying hello is not defined because it is treating this as a Python code, not as a plain text. So to treat this as plain text, I'll go over to the toolbar. I'll select Markdown, which is the way of saying comment in this editor. So I hit the Shift Enter button again, and I see this is not giving error any longer. So this is the plain text. This is where I am writing some code, to make things manage or to manage things better. You can also make this full screen, F11. I can rename this editor to maybe the first.py or just the name first, it automatically takes the extension of IPYNB because Jupyter Notebook originated from the IPython Notebook project. So the extension is pretty much the same. You can download this in multiple forms, like I can get HTML version out of it. I can open this in my mobile phone and read. I can get a pure Python code out of it. If I want to use this with any other editor later on, I can get PDF version and some other versions as well. So this is going to give you the result in many forms. To make more best use of this editor, you have to learn some shortcuts, which I'm going to teach you next. You can explore the complete list of Jupyter shortcuts from the help menu and going over to the keyboard shortcut section. Some popular shortcuts are escape and M. This makes a markdown cell. So by default, any new cell that you create is a code cell, and you can convert it to a markdown cell like this. You can also use the keyboard shortcut escape M to convert to markdown cell. And if you want to move the markdown cell or kind of a comment cell back to the code cell, we have to press escape and Y. So this will turn it back to the code cell. The mouse will turn it back to the code cell. You can also use mouse to toggle this to code cell. Whenever it's a code cell, you'll see the input number coming here. Otherwise, it will not appear. So code to markdown and markdown to code is very important. To write bullet points in markdown cell, you can simply use the dash or the asterisk or the plus symbol. So this is my point number 1. Now I have point number 2, which I want to make italic. So I'll give an underscore in the beginning, underscore at the end. Now I have point number 3, which I want to keep in bold. So I'll use double star in the beginning and at the end of the text to just highlight it as bold. If I have headings, the biggest heading in HTML, H1, I'll use 1 hash for that. So this is the biggest heading, H1. Subheadings will be H2 and the equivalent is 2 hash. Subheading is 3 hashes. This is H3 and it goes all the way up to H6. So you can choose headings, bold, italic, plain text, and you can also write some code by using the preserve tag, or you can use the backtick symbol, 3 backtick to begin and 3 backtick to end. Now, whatever you write here will stay the same way. Like suppose I want to maintain indentation here. Now I give it a run, shift enter, stays the same way. Okay, and these headers are interpreted. If you want to write code, then it's very simple. You can make a new cell for which you can use this plus button, or you can use the keyboard shortcut. Escape B makes a cell below. Whenever you execute a cell with shift enter, it runs the current cell and automatically makes a cell below. So that is also to your advantage. So this will make a new cell below. Similarly, escape A will make a new cell above, and escape D, that you have to press twice, will be responsible for deleting a cell. So escape and D twice will delete selected cell. So remember these shortcuts. The most important was to run a particular cell. So this was shift enter, creates a new cell below. If you don't want to create a new cell below, then you can also use control enter. This is to run. Remember these many shortcuts, they'll be quite useful. The rest of the menu toolbar shortcuts are very obvious for cut, copy and paste. You can move a cell up or down. You can run this And this is important. Sometimes what the Jupyter user experience is the editor gets stuck. Like see here, when I write my code cell, I run, I get a number. Okay, I write another piece of code, I run, I get another number or the error. Here it's a syntax error. Error comes right below it. So if I go back and fix it, yeah, I get the next cell number. Now when it is asking for user input, okay, and see it's still asking for user input, the cell is still running. So you'll see the asterisk sign here. When it will finish running, you will see the next cell number over here. Now imagine that this was running and I did not provide any input. I simply jumped over to the next line, which is plain 1 plus 2. Now when I run this, I still see asterisk. I don't see any output. When I say something like print hello, still running, still not showing any output. So this is a situation where my editor is still stuck at this cell number and star is like still processing. So what should I do? I should actually give any input here, and then this works, this works, this works. Now what might have happened if I don't give any input plus I also delete this cell? Okay, so I'm going to delete this. Now I deleted the cell where I was supposed to give the input. I'm now trying to do some basic operation like print hello world, and see it's not working, still says star, because still processing and still waiting for the previous input command which I ran. And I deleted the cell. So now my only option is to restart the editor. So I can press the restart button here, or the keyboard shortcut for that will be escape OO. The keyboard shortcut for the same, escape 0 0 to restart. Okay, so this is how you use Jupyter Notebook. If you install Matplotlib or other libraries, then you can use it for visualization. Suppose I want to run a command line instruction like pip install the module called NumPy, but I want to perform it inside this notebook. So all I have to do is add exclamation mark. Now this is same as running it on the command line window. So I give it a run, and this will now install NumPy in my computer and for this editor called Jupyter Notebook. So this is how you use it to install any module if you like to. Now it has collected and installed NumPy. Similarly, I can import the graph library, which is called Matplotlib, and I can pull out some graph, or I can use the LaTeX, which is inside this editor. You can learn more about the LaTeX from here, Notebook Help. So I'm going to use one of the LaTeX, which is famous, like square root symbol. So I can use the square root symbol, and maybe I can say square root A, subwritten square root A, and to run shift enter, and I can use this. So this symbol is not on my keyboard, but I can use it because it is one of the available LaTeX in this editor. So this editor, like I told you earlier, is very good to write Python code, to write some plain text, to write HTML and CSS, to draw the graph, to pull out visualization, etc., and to also write equations like this. Explore the help menu, the keyboard shortcuts, and the notebook help to get more on this editor.